This video, I'm just going to show you how to map solids to import into Spry. So a common question that gets asked is, I've got some solids that I've gotten out of my reserving package. In this case, it's Vulkan, and if you've watched the roof and floor polygon example, then you may have a long list of .solid files, how you can map them to bring them into your model. So I'm going to show you a couple of different methods. So you can reference a solid either in a folder or in a zip or in the same folder that the files are in. So in this example here, what I'm showing you is that we've got the waste solid and it's in a solids.zip, and we've got the solid name following it immediately afterwards. Now, this is fine when, I mean, I've produced this from Spry, but in reality, you're not going to get given something possibly this neat. So you can build these up in multiple ways. If you have a pattern that it follows that matches your pit strip block seam bench or whatever your levels are, generally what the solution is to do something along the lines of, look, I know it's in a solids.zip, and then I'm going to add the pit name, and then I'm going to add the delimiter. So if there's delimiter between them, so we're going to go A, B, C, D, E. Just jump in here, C, D, and E, and then whatever follows it. So in this case, it's imported.waste.solid.wot. In reality, it's probably not going to be quite that long. I have missed an and in front of these. Now, if everything doesn't add up quite so neatly, you may need to do some more Excel related work, but that's a formula that will build up the same thing. Now that's because it's in a zip, so you'll note that the result doesn't have a slash at the end of it, which means that it's a relative path. So in this example, what I mean by relative path is it's relative to wherever this particular file has been saved. So the solids.zip is in the same folder as this XLSX sheet. If you want to, you can use the full copy as path name. So what I mean by that is it's the full or absolute path, which is without the quotes. But then you'll also then need to follow it with the same logic as before. So let's step back, put it here. So you can also use, so this is called the absolute or full path. So both of those will work. The benefit of using the relative path is obviously you can move this file around the zip file alongside the import sheet. It doesn't matter where you put it. When you do it like this, it's always only ever going to work when it's in this particular folder. So that's when it's in a zip. The other option that you've got is if it could be in a folder as well. So this is solids in folder. So instead of writing .zip here, it can just be solids in folder. So there was a capital, so we'll put the capital in just in case, although it shouldn't matter. So that is also a way to map the file. So you can do it back to a relative path. It can be solids in folder. So both of those options will work. Some other ways you may want to be able to build them up. So if you've ended up with a long list of files, but you have no reference point for them, and you just want to pull them into Spry. Like you've got this long list of WOTs. What you may want to do is right click the list. Now in reality you may have thousands and thousands of these. Is right click and choose copy as path. Now what you'll get at the end of that is a long list of these, and in Windows, if you've got several thousand, that may take a couple of seconds to, may even take a couple of minutes to build up, but what you'll end up with is this list like this. So what I tend to do is I'll leave this, I'll copy and paste, and I'll leave this folder, this column intact, and I'll call this the solid, and it might be imported waste solid or something along those lines. And then what we're going to do is use the Excel function for delimiting. The first thing I'm going to do is strip out these slashes. So I'm not interested in that first part. I'm really not interested in that either, but I am interested in this alpha, etc., etc. So I'm also going to do a second one. So we're going to delimit it by the full stop. So I've now got my pit, strip, block, seam, bench, nothing, material. Now, if you have, because you're doing this line by, because what happens is in this example is you've got line by line, and one of the key things to note, sorry, there's just a phone call coming through there. Apologies for that. So if we have, in this example here, you can see I've actually got multiple lines that cover the same node. So in the final thing that you would need to do in an example like this is filter out the different materials and do them in their own individual sheets. So we would go and take this information, got a coal one there, but let's put it this one, would make this one the coal solid, and now we can import them correctly. The problem with doing it with this method without the filter is you end up with duplicate nodes, unless coal is part of your level structure. So in that example there, you can see I would have two records at alpha strip 1 block 1 D95, which we don't want in Spry. So we split them out. So you'd take the coal into a coal sheet, the waste into a waste sheet, waste solid, paste in the waste, and you've now got two separate sheets that you can import to bring the solids into Spry. So that's how you can map your solids to import them in the import data menu. So the menu that you're using here is the import data menu. So you can see here, we've now reading the zip. Now this is going to happen very quickly because there's only a couple of files in there, but it reads the zip and pulls them in. So any questions about that, let us know. Otherwise, good luck.